Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is Dylan. We are back here with another tier list. Today we're going to be taking a look at our wide receiver tier list. But before we get into all the new cards that did drop throughout this whole time, make sure to go ahead and leave a like on the video and also subscribe if you are new. My end of year goal is to hit 10k subscribers and we are so close to 3k. I would greatly appreciate it. I really like taking a look at all these tier lists and going back just to kind of see how much things have changed. And yeah, this was pretty much, I believe, the launch, or like the week of the launch is when I made this tier list. And I think it's safe to say everyone is going to move down a tier. There might be some people that move down 2 tiers. Just kind of depends. And yeah, I think this is what I think the tier list should look like before we get into these new cards. A couple people might move down from B into C given they're a little bit slower, but for right now, I think it is okay. Now, the first player we do have right here is going to be Adam Thielen's Superstar MVP card. Powered up will be 85 speed, and he hits 80 for all the route running. Now, I think he's either C tier or B tier. In my opinion, he's really not that good, so I'll probably put him C tier. He's just like an okay wide receiver. Like, sure, he can get abilities like slot-o-matic and stuff, but there's just faster people than him with better route running as well. Next up right here, we have 80 overall Allen Lazard, who I again think is on that C tier level. He has a lot worse route running than Adam Thielen, but he kind of has his own purpose, I guess I would say, because he's like 6'5". Also can get matchup nightmare, which is one of my favorite abilities for receivers, especially taller ones. Basically like a budget version of Kenny Galladay's new card, Brandon Marshall. He's pretty good, and I think he's a good budget option, like I said. Christian Kirk right here, powered up 88 speed. This dude is a baller. I really want to put him A tier, but I'm going to put him top end of B tier. This is probably the best budget wide receiver in the game. And you don't even have to power him up. He gets a slot-o-matic stock on his card, and that ability is pretty good this year. And I just see Christian Kirk making so many plays, especially on my personal no money spend squad. He is an absolute beast. Then next up right here, we got Divio Samuel's Team of the Week card. If you want to know how to upgrade him, it's pretty much Divio Samuel's regular card power up. You put this as a team superstar or team affinity, whatever it's called, right? You power him up, and then there should be another new option that just came out to upgrade him with training. Basically gives him some +1s. He's up to 90 speed now, and I really do like the way Divio Samuel cards play, and he's a pretty good wide receiver. He can get an ability matchup nightmare for 1 AP, which again, physical archetypes are pretty good in my opinion, so he's A tier. I think he's pretty good. Next up right here, we got AJ Brown, who powered up will be 89 speed. He's pretty good. Again, I think he's an A tier wide receiver, maybe B tier, but his route running is pretty good. He hits the 80 threshold for every single route running. Now, if you play on all Madden, there's no all Madden seasons. It really kind of hurts his card's value because he would hit the threshold powered up for short, medium, and deep with 85+ on all Madden. He's a pretty solid all-around wide receiver, though. Except right here, we got Brandon Marshall, who... this is a tough one for me because of the fact that there's so many new cards that are coming out. But in my opinion, I'm still going to have him S tier. Now, his speed is a little bit questionable now, and there are some receivers that are just as tall as him and later might be faster than him. So I could maybe see him top end of A as well. But I think Brandon Marshall's card plays absolutely ridiculous for me. Powered up will be 89 speed, and he's again like 6'5". He hits the best route running threshold for medium and deep route running, one off of hitting short route running threshold. So if you wanted to, you could use a strategy card to maybe go ahead and get him to that 90 route running, or you could just use deep route specialist like everyone else and get him to 91 speed. So I think he's S tier. Could maybe see him A tier, but for the way he plays, I think he's an absolute beast. Next up right here, pretty much what I said. There's receivers that are coming out that are pretty much the same size as him and faster. Megatron is for sure S tier. This guy right here is an absolute beast. Powered up 91 speed, and Megatron being in S tier, I gotta move Jamarr Chase down to A tier. Just for his route running isn't that good, and also a little bit of a smaller body. So I'm gonna move him down to A tier for now. Megatron though, 91 speed, hits 90+ deep route running, cannot hit the medium or short route running threshold, but hey, all Madden seasons do come out, he's basically a perfect wide receiver right now. Potentially could get this card to 94 speed. How we would do that is 2 strategy cards for the deep route specialist, and also the ultimate kickoff players get a boost. Offense or defense could get a +1 speed boost. It really just depends what you want. So you're looking at a potential 94 speed Calvin Johnson, who's also like 6'5". Ridiculous. Will Fuller right here, I think he's better than Jamar Chase, obviously, because again the route running and everything. I don't know if he's A or S tier though. I'm gonna put him S tier. He's like lower into S tier here. I'll arrange these guys to kind of how I think they play right now. I think Megatron is kind of on a little bit of a different level in the S tier. I'm also gonna move Alworth down. Alworth is pretty much here because of the fact that every ability he gets is like 5 AP, and he's also a pretty good route runner as well. Maybe could see him down A tier, but I think he's still very viable. And then Will Fuller, I would have above him. Brandon Marshall right there. I think that's good. But Will Fuller, 91 speed, powered up again, could possibly be 92. So if you wanted to, you could pair someone like Will Fuller and Megatron, then use that offensive strategy card for ultimate kickoff and boost both these guys' speed. And next up right here, we got Joey Galloway, who again is S tier. I think he's a little bit better than Will Fuller, maybe better than Hester. I don't know. I'm gonna put him above. Powered up will be 92 speed this time, and again with the strategy card could get that up to 94. He doesn't get 90 plus route running for short, medium, or deep. In this video, I haven't really talked about abilities a lot because it's like at this point with these higher overall cards, they're pretty much all getting like the same abilities and stuff like that. Like the mid ends, the short ends, the deep outs, you know, all that stuff. Slot-o-matic. Only real thing that I'll kind of mention when it does come up is something like Slot Apprentice. Kenny Golladay right here is an interesting one. He is 88 speed powered up. I'm actually going to have Golladay in the A tier. I think he's a slept-on wide receiver. I had his base elite card in the C tier, and a lot of people, or actually at the time making it in the B tier, and I feel like a lot of people disagreed with me. But Kenny Golladay is kind of a worse version of Megatron right now. Again, he's like 6. And in my opinion, I think you do kind of tell like the bigger receivers do play a little bit. Powered up will be 88 speed again with strategy cards, could potentially get that to 90. He doesn't hit the short, medium, or deep route running thresholds for 90 for anyone. But he also has 88 spec catch, and I just really like the big body wide receiver, so that's why he's A tier for me. Jerry Rice right here, no question about it, S tier. Maybe the best receiver in the game. Powered up will be 92. He can get things like Slot Apprentice, Outside Apprentice, all for 1 AP. He's a route runner archetype, which seems to be the best one in the game in my opinion. Again, just like last year. And they said this card so good. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of Jerry Rice. His route running is very similar to Brandon Marshall's. It's just he's one away from hitting that 90 short route running, and he'd basically be a perfect wide receiver right now. But he's still very good. Hits the deep and medium route running threshold. He's an animal. You're going to see a lot of them. Julio Jones right here. This is really tough because he's for sure A or S tier, okay? He's A or S tier. I think this is someone I'm going to put in the bottom end of S tier. I mean, given that he's an ultimate kickoff card too, what you could do is power him up 89 speed. Strategy cards could go ahead and potentially get him to 92. I think he's very good. It's Julio Jones, and I think Julio Jones cards always play very good, better than their overall. Will hit the short and medium route running threshold, cannot hit the deep one. Kind of sucks they changed his archetype from route runner to physical this year, but matchup nightmare on him I think would be very good. I think he's slightly bottom tier, S tier. I probably have him over Lance Alworth though, and probably Will Fuller. Right behind B Marsh, or on the same level as B Marsh, I think is pretty fair. He's very good though. Jones right here, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of lump him into the B tier, like kind of like mid B tier. Powered up will be 87 speed. Deep threat archetype hits 80 for every single route running. He's basically just like a solid wide receiver. He's similar to a lot of people in this tier, so I'll just lump him in. Next up right here, we got David Moore, who I'd probably put in the A tier. Powered up will be 90 speed again with strategy cards, could potentially get that to 93. Hits 80 plus route running for short, medium, and deep. Deep threat archetype, pretty decent size with 6 foot. He's pretty good. Who is very similar to David Moore. Again, will be the same exact speed, 93 speed potential with strategy cards. Again, he will get all the same abilities. Powered up will hit 80 for all the route running as well. Two cards are very, very similar, just David Moore is a little bit taller. Next up right here, we got Emmanuel Sanders, who again, I'm just going to lump into the B tier. Similar to all these cards in here, 87 speed powered up, hits 80 for all the route runnings. Another deep threat archetype, so nothing really too special about Emmanuel Sanders, so B tier, he's pretty solid. Hey, Watkins right here is actually pretty good. I'd probably put him in the like bottom tier of A tier. So powered up will be 89 speed and will hit 90 deep route running powered up. He's a route runner archetype, so remember all those good abilities that Jerry Rice could get, he could get the same exact abilities. Slot apprentice, outside apprentice for 1 AP, route tech for 2 AP, and all like the deep end, short end, all those type of abilities. He's pretty good. Honestly, maybe could see him a little bit higher in the A tier too. Next up right here, we got Scary Terry, who once again, I'm going to put in the A tier. Powered up will be 89 speed. And he'll go ahead and hit 80 for all the route runnings. I think he's more bottom tier of A tier than Sammy Watkins. But I still think he's deserving of A tier. Next up right here, we got Michael Thomas, who powered up will be 86 speed. He's either B or C. I'd probably put him, I guess, bottom tier of B. He also doesn't hit 90 for any of the route running. He hits 80, which is pretty common with all these people in this tier. Physical archetype could match up Nightmare for 1 AP. And he's just really okay. He's not really too good. Nothing really special about the card. He wasn't good when he came out either. Now right here we got the MCS Tyreek Hill, who I'm going to go ahead and put in the S tier. Is 91 speed. I don't think this card goes into the power up, so can't get that 92. But with strategy cards could be 93. It's 90 plus deep route running, and he's the best Tyreek Hill card in the game. So if there's one thing about Tyreek Hill, he's always like one of the fastest cards in the game. And I think he plays good. He's a good card. You basically got him for free as long as you linked your EA account to your Twitch account and watched the MCS games. I think this card right here is the most slept on receiver in the game. Roy Williams is for sure S tier. He's better than Brandon Marshall in my opinion too. Powered up will be 91 speed, and if you do run the strategy cards, 93. 80 plus route running for each of the route runnings. Also, a little cool thing about this card is that he has 65 run block, which is maybe the highest in the game for a receiver. If it's not the highest, it's one of the highest. He can also get things like honorary lineman for abilities, again given his good run block. He's a card that I don't see a lot of people run. I don't know why, because he is so good. He's a big body wide receiver. Again, he can get some unique abilities. You can make a scheme out of honorary lineman. I swear you could. I know it's a little bit like a lot of people don't like running the ball, but he's a beast. And if you're looking for a big body wide receiver, maybe can't afford that Calvin, Roy Williams will not do you wrong. Now next up right here, we have Shipley, Jordan Shipley. I'm going to put him top end of A tier. I could maybe see him S tier. Just a little slow for my liking, so powered up will be 89 speed. With strategy cards could get him up to 91. Hits 80 plus for all the route runnings, and he is a route runner archetype. So again, that slot apprentice ability, outside apprentice ability for 1 AP each. And lastly right here, we got the new rising star, Jaylen Waddle. And you already know, man, they did not do this card dirty. We're putting him S tier. I kind of want to put him in number 1, but he's probably not better than Jerry. Powered up will be 92 speed. With strategy cards will be 94. 80 plus for all the route running. Kind of sad he doesn't hit 90 deep route running, but this card is an absolute beast. And just something, you know, I am a Dolphins fan. Our team's looking like now we got 96 speed Jaylen Waddle on the theme team. And also 96 speed Will Fuller on the theme team. We have every theme team has Devin, Hester, and we have Brandon Marshall. So hey, if you want a good theme team for some wide receivers, man, come join us on the Dolphins, you know? So this has pretty much been my tier list. Let me know down in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with. Who should be higher, who should be lower. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to go and leave a like on it and also subscribe. I appreciate y'all clicking onto the video. Other than that though, has been your boy Dill. I'm out. Peace y'all.